G'day everyone. Toddy here from King Parrot and F.U.C. I'm just here having a chat to Chris about my dreadlock chop. I'm chopping off the dreads. They're going. After 24 years, they hang down to the top of my legs now, and they're ready. I'm ready to let them go.
Ready to let it all hang out, so to speak.
Yeah, cut them off. Yep.
Wow.
It's been a big decision, obviously. I mean, I've been that guy with the dreads for the last 24 years, but yeah, for several years I've considered the doing the chop, and I always said that when I did it, I wanted to raise money for a charity, and um, at the moment the charity that I'm really into is Support Act. Just, I mean, I know yourself, you've even had help with Support Act
Yeah.
during the pandemic. Almost everyone I've talked to recently that works in the industry, like especially sort of crew guys. I was working a show with the Soundworks guys, and they bring a crew, and that was at the Triffid, and so the staff at the Triffid, the sound guys and lighting guys, and all the road crew on the tour have all benefited from Support Act, and that sort of just reinforced what I'm trying to do. So
Yeah, well,
that was
actually,
cool.
mate, between you and me and whoever's listen to this, there's a good chance Savvy wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for Support Act. Like when it was going through some really tough times during COVID, like those guys helped me out and they gave me a bit of injection that helped carry me through. So they've got a lot to
Yeah,
answer for.
yeah, yeah. That's sort of their thing. If people don't know, they're the Australian music industry's charity, and they deliver crisis relief services to musicians, managers, crew, music workers, all across every genre. So it doesn't matter what genre. If you're in crisis, if you can't work, if you're having sort of mental health concerns, they offer short-term financial support. They offer funeral support. They offer several mental health prevention and education programs, and they have a support line, and they're really there. Actually, the support line is open to the whole arts community too. So even if you're not necessarily in music, if you're an artist, you can call that support line and get like talk to someone. So they offer a whole lot of things, and they help a lot of people and help a lot of my friends. So yeah, it's something I've donated to for several years. And I thought if I'm going to cut my hair off, then I'm going to do it for the people of the Australian music industry who have probably given my hair a reason to be somewhat missed by cutting it off.
So
Yeah.
just to reiterate the point, mate, because I'm sure there's some people there watching this just going, what the fuck did I just hear? But
Yeah.
at 2 p.m. on Saturday, August the 17th, you're going to be stripped of your strength and humanity as your dreadlocks are ripped from your screaming body in an act that would almost be classified as blasphemous. So really, mate, like, how are you
Wow.
feeling about it, mate? Like, it's a lot of fun, but it's a big thing, man. Like, it's a big part of your life.
Yeah. Well, it's more than half of my life. I haven't brushed my hair or had a haircut since the 90s. So
Think of the money you
19,
saved on combs.
yeah, that's it. 1999 was the last time I cut my hair off, and I started growing it for dreadlocks. Um, so yeah, that's the thing there was always a bit of an identity crisis because I've probably considered it for several years, and then more so after COVID when we got back to playing and playing our first gig back. I pulled my hair out to do some windmills as I do, and it was just getting stuck on everything because it was so long. I'd gained that much length throughout COVID and not playing it, hadn't realized it. And so I've just kind of had it tied up for a couple of years. And it's just like, well, swimming, I like swimming, but I don't wet my hair in the shower every day because it takes too long to dry. So I've got a plan for hair washing and whatnot. I've written a whole lot of reasons down to justify it in my head, but yeah, it feels like it's time. And yeah, I figured by making it really public and raising money for a charity, it would just all make it feel a bit easier, better. answer that general question of wherever I go, why did you cut your hair? It's sort of like, well,
True, eh?
Google it and Google it and let's talk about something else.
I suppose there's a bit of a safety issue there too, bro. Like you're talking about doing your windmills. Like, how much would those dreadlocks weigh? Like, once they come off, you're gonna have to make sure you don't take off.
Well, yeah. I don't know. Like there's got to be like a kilo or two in it. I've had a few discussions around this with various people that have had friends who've cut their dreads off, and I think the most I heard was someone's weighed 3 kilos.
What, per dread or for the lot?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I think for the lot. Yeah, I would dare say mine are like maybe a kilo, but put some water in that,
Yeah,
and
true.
it gets heavy. Like we went for a holiday to Fiji last year, and there's like beautiful pools and an ocean there, and I'm not just going to stand there and look at it. So basically my hair was wet the whole trip. Like I'd dry it, but it still stays wet within the dreads, um and yeah, I don't like sleeping on a wet pillow and
That's just
that kind of, yeah.
the pitfalls of dreadies are just endless.
Yeah, and it's just sort of, and I think now that it's sort of sinking in or has sunk in that it's definitely sunk in. I'm cutting them. It's going to be a whole new ball game. Well, even this time next week, when they're gone, because it's less than a week now. Um, it's going to be a whole new ball game. Getting used to that and seeing it. I mean, I've seen what I look like without dreads, but
How scary is it?
that was more than half my life ago. Yeah, well, exactly.
Are you
Yeah,
gonna
I
go
don't
the
know.
full hog and do your beard too?
Well, the only reason I've kept the beard is actually because early on I had a bit of a thing going just purely because I hadn't shaved. and and someone's like, "Oh, are you going to throw the beard in?" And I was like, "Yeah, I could do that." So I'll just let that go as well and shave it all. So
Jesus.
yeah, the beard's going as well.
You
I'm
got to
going
get
to
some
be
business cards printed up just to hand out to people and say, "Hi, I'm Toddy."
yeah. Or I'll just enjoy being unrecognizable for a few months until everyone's used to it.
They'll get me sitting back watching people and they'll have that look on their face like, I'm sure I know him from somewhere.
Yeah. No, I mean, even yeah, even at like festivals in the last couple of years where I have like a poncho on and I walk up to people and they don't know me because they can't see my dreads. Like, how you going, man? And they're like, who the fuck is this? It's like, it's Toddy. It's like, oh, couldn't see. It's like, yeah, I got a poncho on. So I'm gonna be
My cloak of
instantly
invisibility.
yeah, instantly unrecognizable. So
Oh,
I'll just kind of
shit.
blend in a bit more maybe.
Possibly. Now, after initially setting your target at $2,424, Support Act have announced that you've recalibrated expectations to 10,024. 24 is a magic number, mate, but how's it looking?
Well, last I looked, I haven't actually checked today. I'm trying not to check it too much. I don't want to be too obsessive over it. Um, so we went up to that because I was like, well, I wonder if we can crack 5 figures. We've already hit the target, so that's cool. Hit the target within just over a week,
Wow.
and then last week I was talking to Support Act, and I said, well, if we hit 3 grand before the weekend, this is last weekend, I reckon we can bump it up. And we did that last Thursday, hit 3 grand. So now it's about 3,000 and something. So we're still a ways off 10,024. I think perhaps a lot of people will maybe look at that during the week, or maybe they're sort of waiting to see if I actually go through with it. And well, I have to now.
Yeah.
I've made myself very accountable. I put posters up. I've plastered the internet with it, and we've raised some good cash so far. So whatever we raise is going to be great. But yeah, it'd be great to hit that 10,024. But yeah. So we just thought let's just go for it.
Yeah, why
See
not?
what happens. Yeah.
Speaking of donating, bro, where and how can people do it?
Well, I'm going to shoot the link through because it's a long one.
Oh, yeah.
It's they use a certain fundraising site called like Raisely site, but it's a really long link. So I've just sort of been directing people to facebook.com/Todd Hansen official. That's my musician page. So I've got all the links on there if you're on Facebook. If not, King Parrot has actually shared everything as well from all of our socials. Youngie's been right behind this, which is much appreciated. And so and King Parrot's on everything. It's like on Instagram and TikTok and X or Twitter and obviously Facebook. So you can find the link. It's just Toddy's Dreadlock Chop for Support Act. And yeah, you can find the link there to donate. There's an event because I'm going to live stream it on Todd Hansen Official next Saturday at 2 p.m., August the 17th. But we'll also get some little videos and whatnot, and King Parrot will share that through all the socials for those that maybe don't use Facebook. Yeah, so that's probably the best place to go. If you want to see what Support Act do, you can check out supportact.org.au. And they actually also have another one, Oz Music T-shirt Day. You can just sort of type that in and the website will come up. And I mean, also, if you want to find this and you don't use any socials, you can Google Toddy's Dreadlock Chop for Support Act and heaps of stuff comes up on there. So
Yeah.
just straighten the Google machine and the internet will do the work for you.
Fuck yeah, that's the way we like it. Now, can people donate right up to 2 p.m. or is there a cutoff, or can they donate after the fact?
There's no cutoff. At this stage, I've discussed this with Support Act. At this stage, they, like most of these sort of fundraisers, they leave it open sort of a week or two after. So we're looking at doing that. It'll definitely be open at least a week after, and then we might sort of call it, see if it slows down or whatever. But yeah, I'm going to do a little bit more. I've been on a couple of radio shows and stuff, so I've been asked to come back and do some follow-ups.
Nice.
After I've had the hair cut. So I'll send
people on radio are really going to notice a difference.
Yeah. I mean, you'll be able to hear the lightness on my head. Yeah.
You're no stranger to raising money for a good cause, bro. Like, I remember you donating bodily hair from a different area to Simon from Massick at SciFest as well.
Oh yeah. We actually, what did we raise for that? $20 or something for a few pubes. So,
it wasn't bad effort, eh?
yeah, no, it was pretty good. That was pretty fun. Never sold a pube before, but hey, for a good cause, what won't you sell?
Hell yeah. And then what's actually going to happen to the dreads as they come off? Like, are they going to be auctioned off as souvenirs for people, or are they going in the bin? What are you doing with them?
Good question. I have actually been asked by some random people about that, but they're sort of saying, if I donate, can I have a dread? And it's sort of, to me, that's not really a donation. That's a sale. Yeah. I hadn't really planned on selling them. I mean, don't get me wrong. If someone wants to throw $10,000 in, and maybe I'd consider it.
Not a penny.
I guess for me, it's sort of like, it's like the end of a chapter of my life and the beginning of a new chapter. Like, not that heaps is going to change. I'm just going to cut my hair off. It's just hair. I got to remember that. But it's like, the end of the dreadlock chapter. So I don't think I'm going to keep them. I don't particularly want to just give them to people. But I have been looking at ways I can donate them, and they don't particularly take dreadlocks here for wigs. They do in America.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Well, in America, there's a company, I can't remember. I was researching all this just to figure out what I want to do with them. There's a company in America that gets dreadlocks specifically and like treats them and cleans them and makes wigs for, say, cancer patients who had dreadlocks, who lost their hair. It's based in Florida. I can't remember what it's called. Something about dreads. But it's sort of like, well, how much is it gonna sort of cost to seal them and ship them and hope that it gets there? Because I've sent stuff in the past where, the postal services aren't always 100% reliable. So just to sort of know that my dreads are in the ether of some postal system somewhere is a little weird too.
You're one of the few people in the world I can never tell if you're serious or not, mate. Was that serious, or was that just a spiel?
Oh, I'm dead serious. Yeah, I'm actually looking at So look, long story short, I've found some places in Australia because places actually buy, well, not buy, you can donate your hair and they make wigs, like a real hair wig for cancer patients. And I've done a lot of, you're saying before about fundraising. I've actually done a lot of fundraising for ovarian cancer after my mum passed away from it. And so I've been across this sort of cancer things as well. And so I was looking into that as far as donating hair. You can actually donate dreadlocks in Australia, but they don't use them for wigs. They use it for like hair research, and they like break them all up, like cut them all up and put them in like certain product.
Okay.
I can't remember. I was just did a quick Google search yesterday and was reading a few bits. So
Mate,
that's actually something I'm sort of looking at. Like,
that's a massive rabbit hole to go down and researching all that shit, bro.
well, yeah, it's not something you'd think of if you haven't had dreadlocks for 24 years and want to sort of ethically dispose of them and not just chuck them in a bin, if you
Flick it
know what
out the
I mean.
window.
Yeah, yeah. I just feel like they've done their time and it's time for them to go, but I want to actually put them towards something good. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Now we can't leave, mate, without a plug for King Parrot's November tour with Weed Eater, Astro Death, and Chuff. So tell us a bit about that.
Well, to link that into everything we've just spoken about, it'll actually be my first ever tour without dreadlocks. So that's exciting.
Mm.
Um, I've had dreadlocks as long as I've been playing in bands, so I don't even know that I've played. I might have played one gig without dreadlocks, but I'm pretty damn. Every originals band I've played in, I had dreadlocks.
Fuck.
So that'll be my first tour without dreads.
You got to make sure you don't
Um,
snap your neck, mate. Like you be used to sort of the resistance when you're headbanging.
yeah. Well, I don't know. I haven't headbung in a couple of years. Really, I'll nod a little bit, but I haven't done the full thing because I've got this big ball on the back of my neck of hair. So yeah, but that's going to be cool. That's kicking off the 6th of November up here at the Awesome Mows, and then we do the Triffid the night after, and then we sort of head south. Yeah, it goes for about 2 weeks. I don't have all the dates right here in front of me, but yeah, it starts on the 6th of November on the Gold Coast, and it's going to be awesome having the Weed Eater guys over. And then I think Chuff and Astro Death are both really well contrasted because you're going to kind of have that sort of stoner vibe with Astro Death and Weed Eater, and that chaotic vibe with Chuff and King Parrot. Thus, the weed meets the speed.
There's your tagline right there.
Yeah. That's the name. That's the name of the tour. So yeah.
Shit hot. All right, Todd. Well, thanks for your time today, mate. Toddy's Dreadlock Shop is on Saturday, 17th of August, 2 p.m. Live streamed. All the money raised is going towards Support Act. As you say, you can check Toddy's socials, King Parrot socials. There'll be a link in this interview, mate. But best of luck for it, and hopefully I'll recognise you next time I see you.
Thanks, mate. I'll come up and give you a hug, and you'll go, "Who's this egg-headed weirdo?"
I think I'll
And
get lucky.
yeah. But hey, thanks for having me. Thanks for having me on, man. And I appreciate it. I appreciate you spreading the word, and hopefully we can crack that 10K mark